We should have had that ready to go.
Right. Too bad we're live.
Too bad we're live.
I'm ready.
Oh, it's good. 1, 2, 3. Hit it.
Welcome to the worst of the best podcast. You wanted the best. Well, they didn't freaking make it. So here's what you get. From Canada, Ryan and Ruban.
Well, what room was I doing?
Yeah, you're doing the rev up of the...
Kickstart My Heart.
That's right, I know.
One of the best beginnings of a song ever.
Totally, absolutely.
Mick Mars. What he lacked in charisma?
Well, let's be fair.
I'm not trying to...
No, but you know why, though, right?
He has bone disease.
Yeah, he couldn't move.
But
you're right. Because of that, he lacked charisma on stage. He couldn't bang his head and...
No. But, man, he just put it in his... where it matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
He never really gets talked about, like, for best guitarist.
He does. In fact, yeah, he does. I've heard it, but you don't hear it often. Even people that don't like Motley Crue necessarily, often people will give credit to Mick Mars. In fact, people that don't like Motley Crue will say, oh, Mick belongs in another band. He's too good to be with Motley Crue. They often say he's the best musician in the band.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the Worst the Best podcast. We're covering Motley Crue. So the premise of the podcast is...
we picked the worst of the best. And so the best albums of Motley Crue were really their first 5, and it was quite the run of amazing fun. If you're a Motley Crue fan, yeah, you can love older stuff, but their glory days, the 80s,
81 to 89.
81 to 89, Too Fast for Love, Theater of Pain, Shout the Devil, Girls, 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 and Dr. Feelgood. These guys just had a run of albums, a run of success. They dominated the 80s with the hair metal days. When Vince Neil left the band after the Dr. Feelgood tour, and he did that last song with them, which is a great song from their Decade of Decadence album, Greatest Hits album, and he did Primal Scream, which is a great song. Anyways, that was the end of their peak. They rejoined with another singer, John Corabi, Motley Crue's self-titled album. Then they got back together and did some more albums together. They just never recaught the magic, which is normal for any band. It doesn't mean they didn't lack talent, but it just means, like most bands from the 80s and 90s,
they were in the zone.
They were in the zone, and then it ended. But they still toured, and with that tour was nostalgia. They still toured frequently, often with Megadeth and other bands, and those festival tours. And
Alice Cooper.
And then they did their final tour, which was a huge success. Now they're coming out with a Netflix biography movie on Motley Crue.
I'm glad it's on Netflix.
It's coming out on Netflix.
March 22nd.
I can't wait.
We're going to have to. So, Ryan,
yes.
You see Motley Crue?
Yes, I've seen Motley Crue live. The
first concert, is it not?
My brother Jason, who's listening to the chat right now. Hey, Jason, who's in the chat right now. Jason and I was 14. He was 16. Our mother and father let us go to Vancouver on our own.
That means you left the island.
You left the island.
Took a ferry.
Stayed at a hotel, which my mom booked for us. It's called the Tropicana. The Tropicana Hotel, which was a line from the song Girls, Girls, Girls. Tropicana is where I lost my heart.
Yeah. And did you lose your heart there too?
So this place was a dive. An absolute dive. Jason will remember there was body hair on the pillowcase and sheets still.
So gross.
The bed was disgusting. The cleanest place that we could find was like the corner of the room on the it was shag carpet, thick shag carpet.
So gross.
I lied on top of my jacket and t-shirt because it was the cleanest thing in the room had. But you know what? That's what you want to do when you're 14 at your first rock and roll concert.
Seeing Crue.
And of course, everyone in that hallway in that hotel was there to see Crue. And there was parties and people were loud and crazy. I probably didn't get more than an hour or 2 hours sleep that night. I'll never forget, this was the Dr. Feelgood tour. They came out underneath the stage.
Incredible.
And they opened up with Kickstart My Heart. And boom, they came up with the fireworks right away. And Tommy on the drums. And this is when Tommy did the drums above the crowd.
Sure, yeah.
And we had never been to a concert before. This was loud. And I remember thinking, like, am I supposed to feel this? Ow. And I didn't plug my ears or anything. And I remember thinking, like, I had a really good time, but boy, it was loud. I kind of plug my ears every now and then, I guess.
Yeah.
So ever since then, and I've been to about 50, almost 60 concerts since then, I've brought earplugs to concerts. There's no shame in protecting your ears. I'm 43 years old now. I'm glad I still have my hearing. My hearing's still very good, and I still go to concerts. My recommendation, if it's loud and it's uncomfortable, put an earplug in.
Absolutely. You and I saw Motley Crue live without Tommy Lee.
That's right. We saw him with John Castillo or something like that.
Was that the...
And he's passed away.
Yeah, he
died.
No,
we saw it with the female drummer.
My bad. That's what I thought.
Yes.
Samantha Maloney.
That's right. We saw that tour in 2006.
She's the same age as you.
Oh, really?
Could you imagine you being the drummer from Motley Crue?
Sure. That'd be amazing. I would have a lot of fun. I'm sure she did.
Wow. I'm sure
good for her. That's right. That's right. She was a female drummer.
She still is a female drummer.
I shouldn't assume her gender. She may have changed. She may have identified as something else now.
That's
she
true.
Maybe identified as a female percussionist. We're going to go in order of release, and we'll pick the worst song from each album. So their first album was Too Fast for Love, and you've got Vince Neil here on the front cover. Now, I will say this. Vince Neil did the crotch shot, front shot, before Bruce Springsteen's butt shot. Give credit where credit's due.
Right.
Am I not right?
Yeah, but you know what? This is a...
Yeah, it's copying somebody else, isn't it?
Yeah, Sticky Fingers.
That's right. Look at that. That's the 666 symbol. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know, because you know how it works?
No, tell me.
Okay, so if you ever fog up a window, 666, and you can do one motion is...
It's so cool.
Yeah, I know. So there you go.
Yeah, that's right. Here's the Rolling Stone.
Okay, well, I got to bring it up on mine now. No. So this is it. So what year did the Rolling Stones Sticky Fingers come out? Why would they name... What's it called? Stinky or Sticky?
Doesn't matter. It's the same. It's called Sticky Fingers.
Okay. So that's Mick Jagger?
I'm sure he'd like to think so.
All right. So you got a flashlight or something?
Well, he's got a... Okay.
So anyways...
Moving forward to...
worst song from Too Fast for Love. So I've got my pick, Ruben. You got yours?
I do.
Okay. I'm going to just punch... We're going to have to do this live, guys. We're punching in as we go here. This is mine. You'll see it, obviously, if you're watching this video, what my pick is.
Oh, that's mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so hear a little bit of this. It's a horrible chorus. So the intro is actually not too bad, but this is an album, guys, that I love. Take Me to the Top, Livewire, of course. Too Fast for Love. My favorite is Piece of Your Action. Love that song. That's just
it is great.
So when you have those type of songs and you got Come On and Dance, and the whole idea of Come On and Dance, come on and dance. Come on.
Yeah,
a little weak. It's a little weak.
When you're going for heavy metal...
Well, yeah, and I think this is their lightest album. It was certainly rock and roll, but it had a little bit of punk and stuff. It wasn't quite what they were going to be coming up soon here, because this was, again, 1981, and then they just really found an image with Shout at the Devil. This came out of nowhere. 2 years later, they kind of really ramped up their image, the makeup. We had this tape.
Yeah, I remember the tape.
We hid it. Sorry, Mom, you're listening. We weren't allowed to own this tape. It's so funny to think about now because it's just so silly. But I understandably, in 1983, this seemed kind of, scary and what have you. And there's some there's some serious subject matter on this album, but nothing that I was in grade 3, grade 4 listening to this. I never thought anything of it. I just loved the beats, the rock and roll. But there are some songs on here that are pretty. Knockin' Dead Kid talks about cops killing people. Looks at Kill, obviously. Shout at the Devil itself. God Bless the Children of the Beast.
Speaking of which, are we doing instrumentals?
No, we're not. That is a rule. We do not do instrumentals, and we do not do covers as a worst pick.
So we're not doing Helter Skelter or God Bless the Children of the Beast.
That's right. Or In the Beginning, because that doesn't count. I'll punch in mine, and you tell me if it's the same as yours. It's not a bad song, but out of our criteria, oops, that's that one. Out of our criteria, it's my least favorite on this album, Shout at the Devil, which I love. It's a great album. No.
Rory got something different.
Okay, so this is mine for the audience that's listening, so they can hear it. It's not a bad song. I'm torn a little bit, but I'll be just It was their first kind of attempt at a ballad. They hadn't done a ballad. This was kind of their first attempt of a slower type song. It builds up. Hey, I love I like the chorus. I'm kind of torn. I got
torn between what?
Well, I'll tell you the one that I'm torn between. Oh, actually, no, I'm not torn. I think if I had to never hear a song again from that album that wasn't a instrumental or cover song, their cover song, of course, is "Helter Skelter" by the Beatles. Which song for you, Rube?
"Knockin' Dead Kid."
Really? Okay, that's one of my favorite songs they've ever done.
It's a good song. If I never had to hear it again, between let's say this and "Danger," "Knockin' Dead Kid,"
you'd rather listen to. And I will say the criteria again. You see them live in concert.
Variety.
But listen to this open guitar. I just love it. It is great.
I'm not dissing the song.
I know you're not, but I just want to do this build up here. This is heavy. Like, this is pretty heavy. You'd rather listen to Danger than this song.
I stand by it.
Oh, I stand by it. You're a little bit heavy. Yeah. You're a little tight.
I stand by it.
Wow.
I stand by.
I think, as they said on one of their earlier tracks, you're sticking to your guns, are you?
I am.
Okay. All right. So my pick for the worst song on Shout the Devil is Danger, and Ruben's
"Knockin' Dead Kid."
It's probably my favorite song on the album. Now listen up. All right, here we go. I think you're just a little weak there, Rube.
I don't.
You're sticking by I think out of, what do you call it?
I stand by it.
Okay, all right.
I got my heels at the ground.
Theater of Pain, it's kind of forgotten by the Motley fans.
Sure.
I love Theater of Pain. Came out in 1985. I love how they did 81, 83, 85. Girls, Girls, Girls was 87, and Dr. Phil was 89. 2 years. Perfect way to keep yourself in the ethos, right?
Yeah.
It's like they basically did an album, went on tour, That's the way to keep yourself popular.
Rolling Stone gives it 2.5 stars.
Yeah, Rolling Stones, they're idiots. But there are songs on this album that aren't that great, and the one song, for me, that is the weakest song on the album, we've had this happen before, and "Smoke in the Boys' Room" is a cover, so that doesn't count.
And it's fantastic.
But the one song on this album, for me, that is the weakest song on the album, and to this day, I skip it every time.
All right.
I can't believe it's the opening track, which gives it away if you know the opening track.
Do you know it's actually pronounced Motley Crue?
Motley Crue?
Because it's got the...
Yeah. Or Motley Crue. And I hear a bit of the chorus. So the idea is city boy blues, and it has a little bit of a bluesy sound at the same time. So it's kind of like, it's like, hey, it's a bluesy riff. It's a bluesy song. For an opening track, and this is the days before CDs, so when you put this tape in...
Yeah, you got to put on your strongest song first.
You're putting this tape cassette into your player, and this is the first song that comes on. I wonder what kids back then thought when they first heard that. That's my worst pick of the... And it's actually a song I don't enjoy. So it's not only the worst pick, it's actually a song I don't really enjoy at all. And it's 4.5 minutes long. It's interesting. Okay, what about you?
They got short albums, by the way.
They do. For the most part, except for this song, there are very few filler songs. 35 minutes, 40 minutes of just rock. You got a pick, Rube?
Yeah, kind of. Keep your eyes on the money.
Yeah, that's a good pick. It's probably the second weakest song on the album, to be honest with you. The only reason why I didn't pick this over City Boy Blues is because Keep Your Eye on the Money is just a little bit better of a just a little bit more of a rock.
Yeah, it does.
So that's why I didn't pick it. It's not a bad pick, don't get me wrong.
It's the third single.
That's weird. I always forget that was a single.
Smoke in the Boys' Room, #1.
Right.
Home Sweet Home.
My favorite song on the album, just if anyone's curious, is Save Our Souls. I love that song. It's so dark. I love it. I wonder if it's a holdover from Shout the Devil album. They did a lot of party songs, which is great. I get it. That's what they are. Another favorite of this album, of course, is Use It or Lose It. Side B is way better than side 1, personally.
I like Raise Your Hands to Rock.
That's a great song. Yeah. Save Our Souls is just another favorite of mine. I know. I just like this, like... And I know he's almost 60 now. He's really out of shape, unfortunately, but he still goes out there and does it, I know he gets a lot of flack online for being overweight and not really singing the words and all that stuff. What I appreciate about it, he has his own little solo band. He doesn't have to. I think he's got a few dollars. He's got his own tequila brand. He's got his own book deals. He's got money. I think he plays because he just has fun.
Sure, why not? What's he going to do?
Ready for their fourth album?
I am.
Girls, Girls, Girls.
Great album.
Yeah. Elvis sang about it first. He had a song called Girls, Girls, Girls.
So Vince Neil is apparently worth about $55 million.
So he's worth $55 million.
That's a lot of money.
And he just does these little pubs and little shows.
To be worth that much.
Yeah, he's got money.
That's an incredible amount of money.
Netflix probably paid who knows how much for their book deal.
Jeez.
Before we get to our worst pick, I'll tell you right now, my favorite pick on this album, I love You're All I Need. I love that song.
It's a great song.
And it was controversial at the time because it was about a boyfriend killing his girlfriend. But nowadays, it almost seems trite compared to some of the stuff. It was banned on MTV. This album had the
Was it really?
Yeah, it was banned.
Oh, wow. So the single was Girls, Girls, Girls.
Yeah, Girls, 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 Wild Side, and You're All I Need.
Wild Side. Oh, my goodness.
No. Yeah.
When I saw that music video as a kid,
yeah,
I was blown away. I was like, I can't wait to see them live.
That's right.
All those slow-mo
rolling around.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's exactly right. The Wild Side video showed you how cool a concert could be.
Yeah.
And it was just like that. I did not leave that concert disappointed. It was just everything I had hoped a rock concert would be in 1989 when I saw the Dr. Feelgood tour. So my worst pick on this album, I wonder if it'll be the same as yours.
This is my second favorite album of theirs, by the way.
Oh, wow. Wonder if we're going to have a... Is this live? It is live.
It's even going to sound worse then.
Yeah, probably. It's another one of these songs that we get to do Dance on Glass. It's not a bad sound. It's not a bad groove. But the chorus is actually worse than the lead-up. So, this part's not bad. And then,
this one's a contender. Look at this. I don't mind the song, but it's just the weakest for me on this album. It's not a bad song. It's better than some of the other worst picks I've had. Like, it's certainly better than City Boy Blues. Absolutely. The actual chorus isn't that strong, and that's what's weird about it. All right, so what's yours, Ruben, for this? Easy peasy for me. Bad.
Yeah.
Boy. Boogie.
Yeah, Okay, let me listen. I might pull Ryan first and change my mind. First of all, oh boy, have I ever changed my mind with Ruben's choice?
You're telling me you'd rather listen to Bad Boy Boogie?
No, you're right. I'm changing my pick. Yeah, hearing it again.
Yeah.
Bad Boy Boogie is worse than Dancing on Glass. All right, Ruben, I know what it feels like now to be wrong. What more can we say about Dr. Feelgood?
Okay, kudos to them to have
fifth album.
Fifth album,
right.
To have their Appetite, to have their White Album, to have their Black Album, to have that pinnacle album that carries them for a decades-long more career after that.
Yeah, they were doing okay before this.
Without Dr. Feelgood, there'd be no Netflix special.
No, this album had to exist.
Yes.
This is amazing. The production on this album, just And just a side note, when they were recording this album and the production, Lars Ulrich of Metallica, of course, heard the production sound. That's why they hired Bob Rock. And he wanted the Black Album to sound like Feel Good. So that's why the Black Album sounds so different than Justice. It was because they loved what Bob Rock did. Now, you can hate Bob Rock for this. A lot of fans of Metallica do, right? But Lars liked how this sounded. They wanted to have that heavy drum sound, all that sound. Ironically, we're talking about success. Metallica at this time was their fifth album was Black, because they had three with Cliff.
Yeah.
Then they had, even don't count Garage Days. And then they had Justice, and then their fifth album was their biggest to this day.
Sure,
still, it's the Black Album.
Yeah.
So Bob Rock, whether you like him or not, made these two bands, gave them legs that have carried them on for decades. So I've got my worst pick on this. This is a pretty easy one.
Well, some things to note.
Yeah.
Who sings backup on Sticky Sweet?
That would be Steven Tyler.
I'm not sure what song it is, but I'm pretty sure Bryan Adams is on the album.
Brian Adams was background vocals on track 8. He was on.
I should have just scrolled down.
So Brian Adams was background vocals on Sticky Sweet. Now Brian Adams is from Canada, and so all these guys were around.
Same with Bob Rock.
Yeah, so these guys were around the studio. This was recorded in Vancouver. That's why Brian Adams was probably around.
Also, we got
Steven Tyler also sang background on track 8, and he does the intro to track 3, which is "Slice Your Pie." That's Steven Tyler.
How fun!
Yeah. The best guest vocalist on this album goes to Sebastian Bach.
Yeah.
For track 9, She Goes Down. His part in that song is awesome. Out of the night.
So I guess this is the only Motley Crue, Bryan Adams, Steven Tyler song together. Have they done any other work together?
Imagine if they did this live on stage one day.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
I seen Bryan Adams live.
That's probably a fun show.
It was a fun show. I've never bought any of his albums, and
But you knew every song that he played.
Yeah, it was a fun night out.
Sure.
Do you remember seeing the Dr. Feelgood video for the first time? It was amazing, eh? The fireballs and
I think I have a theme for my worst picks.
the dancing.
The dance is Bad Boy Boogie, Rattlesnake Shake, Dancing on Glass. Anything that has to do with shaking, dancing, grooving, boogieing. Rattlesnake Shake is, to me, not a very strong song. Not a bad song. This album has very little weakness to it at all, to be honest with you. Like, I never skip anything on this album. If a song fell off of this album and never returned, I would never complain about this one. Some songs that you've picked, I've truly wondered why you picked them. I'm just saying, if a song fell off
Sure.
this album, I wouldn't be like devastated. But this album, it's all killer. It's no filler. I love every song on this album, but still want to hear a little bit more.
Yeah.
So this song is great, and I like it. It's just my worst pick.
I have a theory that Crew were trying to start a new dance craze with each album.
Yeah, maybe. But the Rattlesnake Shake, the Bad Boy Boogie,
Guys,
Dancing
this
on
is it.
Glass.
This is it. This is Gibera Macaroni. Macaroni?
Sure, my macaroni. All right, Ruben, what's your worst pick?
Okay. This is a song that I like sometimes, and sometimes I'm like, it's a little hokey at times. You must know. It's the same old situation.
Really? All right, fair. That's fair.
There's some hokiness to it. But sometimes I'm in the hokey mood,
Sure.
and I love it. I eat it up.
But you know what made this song fun when this came out? It was because it was kind of revolutionary. You know what I'm talking about?
I guess not.
Is when they put the camera and the ball in the crowd,
Oh, okay.
and it gets rolled around the crowd.
Oh, yeah. That was cool.
Yeah. All they'll do. But I love how they show Vince playing the guitar.
I know.
We know that he could have
Every lead singer always does that.
pretend to play the
Sure,
guitar.
sure. Like, I had some friends that saw Justin Timberlake.
Even Axl Rose did it with Dead Horse.
Dead Horse. Some friends saw Justin Timberlake recently in Vancouver, and there's Justin Timberlake playing the guitar.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
like, oh, yes.
Or Adam Levine at the Super Bowl.
What a terrible...
Oh, yeah. You just beat the lead singer. You don't have to have the guitar.
Well, apparently everybody in U2 always rolls their eyes once Bono brings out a guitar.
It's a little bit of that, though.
Yeah.
Hey, Bono, I love Bono.
Sure,
but he's already Bono who can sing like Bono.
Like, just-
but it's a little bit hokey when he brings up the acoustic.
I got something that you guys don't got.
It's a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little bit.
It is.
And I love you too, but even when he pulls out the guitar, I'm like,
Sure.
Edge can take care of it. So I would show It was a good show.
Do you remember when Anthrax came on?
Yeah, the bass player was a goof.
Oh my god, I was like embarrassed as a fan. Well, fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of fun. So again, Netflix special March 22nd. Make sure you check it out. Netflix, thanks for the plug. Appreciate it.
This episode's been brought to you by Netflix.
Yeah, and
Crew.
Motley Crue and Vince Neil, Mick Mars, Tommy Lee, and Nikki Sixx. Thanks, guys, for... Hey, you know what? Thanks, guys, for 30-plus years of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you rocked out and you had a good time. And all of them are still doing their side projects and having fun with their life. So... Oh, and apparently they did record 4 new songs for the Netflix release.
I know.
And apparently Nikki Sixx is pretty excited by them.
I'm looking forward to hearing
Sure.
them.
Anything else?
Machine Gun Kelly is rapping on one of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Sure. I will say, if you watch the trailer for The Dirt, Machine Gun Kelly really channels Tommy Lee.
I look forward to it.
Like his mannerisms and stuff. When you watch it, like, oh yeah, so he's got the lanky body. That's why they hired him, because he shows him wearing the underwear outfit. And for a second, oh yeah, I wasn't watching young footage of Tommy Lee. It was Machine Gun Kelly.
Nice.
So at least from what I could tell from the trailer, they're capturing the mannerisms pretty well. So
Amazing.
all right, well, I look forward to that, Rube. So thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, in front of every silver lining, there is a cloud, and we're here to help you find it.